Okay, well, hi, good Bat Neighbor community. We've got a very special Friday feature for you today, our monthly feature where we're joined by folks from around the world who are helping bats. And we've got a couple joining us today from Cape Town in Western Cape, South Africa, two of our very own good bat neighbors who are founders of the Cape Bat Group, Lorayn Leach and Ryan Busta Boltoon. Hi, Lorayn and Busta.
Hi,
Hi.
how you doing?
Okay, how you guys
Oh,
doing?
very cool.
Yeah. So tell us, what is a bat group?
Uh,
Lorayn,
you okay?
do
A
you want to
back
hit
group
this
is,
one first?
I'll go for this. You can add on as you feel fit. So a back group is basically a group of people that are getting together that have an interest for bats and want to get involved in different aspects of bats, whether it be, going on bat walks, learning about bats through talks, getting hands-on experience building bat houses and that sort of thing, or just generally have an interest in bats. And it's to foster a spirit and I don't know, get more people involved, get more people aware of bats, and create a bigger community awareness about
Nice.
bats.
All right.
It's a group.
Yeah, I think what we'd also like to do is kind of dispel a lot of the myths behind bats, about how scary they are and, how it's just how every bat is a vampire bat, which we all know is not really true. So, we also like to kind of educate people as to how awesome bats really are and what impact they have in the ecosystems that they're involved with.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, um, you started to answer my question. Why do you want to help bats?
Ooh,
Specifically
well,
the bats in Africa.
right. I think here in South Africa, it's very conservative with a lot of stuff. So dispelling the myths behind bats is quite a top priority. I think there are a lot of people that see bats as a negative omen, or like there's quite a bit of superstition behind them,
Yeah.
especially in the rural communities. So I think it's good to educate people on how amazing bats are and what they actually do for the environment. Yeah,
Nice,
Lorayn.
nice.
Yeah, when it comes to Africa, especially South Africa, there's so much attention that's given to the big five, the big five,
Mm.
lions, elephants, rhinos, and
Right.
it tends to be the draw card, but there is so much
Yeah.
more to offer. And, it kind of overshadows everything that is important in that system. It's not just those big five. Those big
Yeah.
five are part of a bigger system that needs all these other animals and organisms to have healthy existence. And bats is one that is very much marginalized and sidelined and forgotten about. So it's to create that awareness and say, look, hey, these bats are important. They're as important as the famous big five. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Nice. And I know that's something that all of our viewers, I think, encounter around the world in their area too, that bats are kind of
Mm.
maligned and need a little more attention. So glad you guys are doing it. And I do want to ask, so this is normally where I would see what people are doing to help bats in their community. But I know a little bit about what you guys are doing. You had your very first bat chat this past weekend. Tell us how that was.
It was a
Well, we still,
you go ahead,
yeah,
Buster. Yeah, you go.
okay. We're still a very, very new bat group. So we did our bat training group training stuff last year with Bats Without Borders. And
Oh,
so,
nice.
from the beginning of this year, there's the three of us, me, Lorayn, and Mike, who've been meeting up together and trying to figure out how we can actually put this group together, what we're going to be doing, what we can actually offer, and what we've still got to learn. So I think our first meeting was just to find out within the people around our community who was also interested in bats and wanting to help
Right.
out and maybe give us some ideas or who they might be connected with. May it be someone at a university or,
Oh, right.
some other wildlife conservation people that we can connect with to kind of, just get our group going and start getting some momentum in place.
Very cool.
Lorayn?
It was a good experience. It got us on our feet. it had friends and family and a few people that came in, and we've actually connected with two very important people within in the greatest city of Cape Town. People, one lady that's involved with the
Oh, nice.
park side of things. And we've been already chatting about getting access to parks to do walks. So that'll be
Awesome.
fantastic. And the other guy that sort of was sitting having a cup of coffee and didn't know about the bats, we pulled him in and said, "Hey, come and check this out." And
Oh,
he was
nice.
the chairman of a very well-known organization here in South Africa that does a lot to do with wildlife. So that was really, really good. Two very influential people. And that's how it starts. That's how it starts. Start at the beginning. So it was nice for us. It was nice for us to get our teeth into it and actually get it going.
Yeah. And that's actually part of the reason I wanted to talk with you guys today, to share what you're doing with our audience, because I know in England, bat groups are really popular. Really, I think in all of the UK, they have a ton of bat groups, but here in the US, we don't really have community bat groups. So we just have a few bat working groups. So I'm hoping that our viewers will be inspired to start a bat group in their area, and that, it is something you can do. Just get some local people together and, meet at your local cafe or something. And, please do this. There are a lot of people out there that like bats, and you can bring them together and get something moving. And, here you guys are fairly new and you're already on the go. And it sounds like you've got a lot of momentum going. And this is something that, everybody else out there can do. We tend to think that, because bats are often maligned and people think they're scary or creepy, we think there aren't that many people out there that like bats, but it's amazing once you start talking about them and people hear you, they are interested, and there are a lot more people out there interested than we would think. So, just trying to connect with people around you and get some good positive energy going for bats. And what got you guys individually started on bats? Like, why did you like bats?
Well, for me personally, I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, I've always just been obsessed with bats. I've just found them absolutely fascinating and the most amazing little things. So, I've always trying to, I wanted to try and figure out a way of what I can do for bats. And there's another group here in South Africa who are based in KwaZulu-Natal, which is further up the coast. It's a totally different climate to what we have here and everything. So they've got a lot of fruit bats and other stuff, other species up there. But I was very inspired when I met them, and they've been around for like 30 years now. So they really know what's going on. They've got they do bat rehab and rehabilitation and everything like that. So as a tattoo artist, I was trying to figure out how I could get involved and try and be, what can I do as a tattoo artist? So what I did was I started a road trip like through South Africa, and every tattoo shop that I'd guest spot at, I'd do bat tattoos, and then that would raise funds. And in the beginning, the KZN Bat Group was my beneficiary. So I think I did about 3 years tour with them. And now that we've started our little group, I did a Tats for Bats tour at the beginning of this year, and that's kind of like helped us also just kick off with things and funding and helping to get stickers made and, just flyers and any kind of promotional stuff that we need to get going with. So yeah, it's always been a passion for me, and I just love bats to pieces.
That's awesome. And I have to ask, do you have any bat tattoos that you can show us?
I'll send you some pictures through. I've definitely done some really cool ones. At one stage, the one tour was basically anything with bat wings counts. So I was doing all kinds of weird and wacky things, but I mean, they were really cool. And it also, got people interested in what bats are, because you're spending so much time with that person tattooing them, and they're obviously going to ask you questions, and it's a really good opportunity to educate people as well, while they're under the needle. Can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere.
Have you got any bat tattoos yourself? I know you have long sleeves on right now.
Yeah, I think I've got more bat tattoos than anything else. I think I've got about, including background stuff, maybe about 40, 45.
Oh my. Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Real
if you
bat
can't,
name.
if you can't show them today, maybe you can take some pictures and put them on your Facebook page so we can check some of your tattoos
Sure.
out.
Cool.
I know we have a lot of tattoo fans in our community. I've got 5 myself, so we're always looking
Okay.
for new bat tattoo ideas.
Well, I'd love to come and do Tats for Bats USA at some stage, and then,
Oh, that would
get
be-
in touch with a lot of the bat groups over there and kind of do
Yeah.
the same thing, because I've had a really an awesome response from the tours that I've done, and I'd love to just travel and do more of it around the world.
That would be awesome. Geez, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody out there, if you haven't got your own local tattoo artist or you haven't found one yet, we definitely need to get some international travel going here. That sounds
There we go.
fantastic. And Lorayn, what about you? How did you get started with bats?
Well, mine was a little bit different journey. When I was still working, my background is actually casinos, believe it or not. And when I was working at a casino, I ended up doing a nature guiding course that would eventually allowed me to drive people around the nature reserves.
Oh,
And
wow.
I never actually did that, but after I did the course and qualified, I just wanted to learn more. But I found it very difficult to find out where to learn more. I wanted to go to talks and I wanted to do walks, but I found it really difficult to find out where to go, And so I started my own little initiative. I started my own little Facebook group, and I would find out talks and I'd share it with whoever wanted to know. And it was in that I found Bats Without Borders. And I started to follow them on Facebook, and they had a post about having this initiative that they wanted to get people in Southern Africa to join this training.
Right.
And so I made an application and I got accepted. Because
Nice.
for me, it's about it's all a bigger picture. And as a nature guide at the level where I was, you learn a lot about a lot of things, but you have to go on further and learn more and study more. And yeah, I just love to learn. So yeah, I did that, and the more I learn about bats, I can tell you they are absolutely fascinating. And I can see so many opportunities when it comes to nature guiding that you can enhance a guest's experience by not just focusing on what happens during the daylight hours, but actually taking guests out on game drives at night with a view to looking at bats. Because nowadays they do that, but they go out on a game drive at night and you don't really see much. There's missing an opportunity there. So I think the more people that know about bats and the more focus on bats, you can create a very different experience for people when they go out into the wild. So for me, it's about learning and sharing the knowledge. As Busta said in the beginning, dispelling the myths.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the more you learn about bats, they are absolutely fascinating, absolutely incredible. So bats go. Absolutely. And the nice thing is the learning doesn't stop here. And I must just shout out, Bats Without Borders, their support is fantastic, and their follow-ups and the continuation of the learning cycle goes on, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful journey. Really wonderful.
And it's amazing. As much as bats have been studied for, over a century, there's still so much to learn about them. And even new species are, still being discovered all the time. So yeah, definitely always learning opportunities there. So what is your favorite bat?
Okay, I'm going to claim our one first. Okay, we have our group bat is the Cape Horseshoe bat, and it's a beautiful bat. It's got a beautiful horseshoe nose leaves, but I like this bat because not only because it looks awesome, but it only is found in this area. It's only found in the Western Cape area, in a very narrow belt that goes along the Western Cape from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
And so it's our bat. So
nice.
I like this bat. It's cool. It's really cool. Yeah,
nice.
that's what I like.
Nice. How about you?
I claim that, Busta.
Okay, well, option number 2. I really love the little fruit bats. I just think they just have the cutest faces, and when I had the opportunity to go and hang out with the KZN bat group, they had a whole bunch of Wahlberg's epilated fruit bats, and they're just little miniature sized flying foxes, and they're just the most cutest things ever. So for me, I'd have to say the fruit bats in the KZN area are my favorite bats.
Nice, nice. It does amaze me that the little fruit bats that there are so many, well, I shouldn't say so many, but there are quite a few species of the microbats that that do like nectar and fruit too, like the flying foxes, and they've got that kind of foxy cute face. So,
right.
yeah, they're adorable. Although I have to say all bats are adorable. Don't want to diss any bats out there. So so you've got your Facebook group, and I'll share that link in our post. And are there any other ways you could tell people or encourage people to get involved in your area, or even maybe other areas to get involved with bat groups and walks, different opportunities you might have?
It's sorry, Lorayn.
No, go ahead.
It's winter at the moment. So as soon as summer starts hitting, we definitely want to start taking people on walks. And I think that physical aspect of actually being there and seeing them face like in real life will have more of an impact than just a flyer or something like that. So I think we're definitely going to try to do some walks and get more involved with the going out aspect of it.
Nice.
When the summer hits.
Very cool.
Yeah.
People are fascinated when you start to bring out the what's the thing called, the bat detector.
Oh,
and
yeah,
actually, I mean, it is so fascinating. It's interesting. You're suddenly exposed to this whole new world around you. And yeah, so definitely the walks. Yeah, definitely the walks. Yeah. But there are a lot of ways that people can support the cause of bats. It is the walks. It's learning more, getting a passion for them.
Yeah.
But it's to be more aware of doing bat-friendly things. Like when you go to your garden center and you're picking up something for your garden, check it out. Have a look. Is it pollinator friendly? But don't forget the bats. Yeah.
Right.
It's not just birds and bees. You've also got bats in there. So it's these sorts of things. And to get more empathy for animals in general. Across the board.
I think it's also really important that if people come across bats that might get stuck in their houses or something, that they go to the right people and ask the questions instead of going straight for pest controllers or something like that. Where they can we can give them a better sort of idea of why the bats might be there. They could just be passing through, or like kind of assess the situation before it turns into something unnecessary when it comes to bats in the house or finding a bat on the floor. Like, what do you do? Who do you get a hold of? So we definitely need to also just link those two aspects together of, I've got a bat, what do I do? Who do I speak to?
Yeah. And that's actually a really good point. And I want to encourage people to do that. It's something we bring up on the Good Bat Neighbor Community Facebook group often, is find out what you need to do if you encounter a bat in distress in your area. Don't wait till the problem arises. Make sure you know where the nearest rehabber is, or what any kind of bat group that could advise you. I know not all areas have bat rehabbers, not all areas have bat groups. So, just find whatever bat resource you've got nearby and program it into your cell phone. Have it ready so you're not searching for that number or looking on your computer or having to Google and figure out what's going on while the bat's flying around your house and you're like, oh no, what do I do? But get that programmed in on your phone and put it under bats so you're ready to go. If you don't know of any bat organizations in your area, you can check with Bat World Sanctuary. They're online. I can put their link too, just to as a kind of reminder to people. They can help people internationally to find bat rehabbers near them if you have trouble finding one yourself. So definitely that's such a good point. I'll always be prepared and help those little guys out, because they do get into tough spots quite often.
Yeah.
I think the thing as well is, when people do start the bat groups, it's not to assume that people like your vets actually know what to do with bats. I found When we were doing the course, one of our assignments was to find out about support in the area. And I phoned one of our local vets close by to me, and I said, I want to find out what would you do if somebody phoned and said, I've got a bat? And they just burst out laughing. They said, a bat. I said, yeah, a bat. And there was lots of confusion. Well, we're not really sure. And I could hear it like, hold on, what do we do if we get a bat?
Oh,
and
goodness.
It was like, hello. So, when you do get to that stage of don't forget them, because they tend to focus on different aspects of different animals. Yeah.
Right.
So, it would help them to approach them and say, look, we with bats, if you have a bat, if somebody contacts you, I know you might never have had it before, but if you do, this is what you're going to do. So, yeah, don't assume that people like that will actually, have that information readily available. Yeah.
That is a really good point. I know here in my area in the US, rehabbing, well, it actually varies state by state in the US as far as what training or permits you have to have to treat bats or rehab bats. But that is the case, that it's such a specialized thing that bats are really difficult to treat compared to a lot of other animals, that they have so many unique physical structures and potential issues that exactly like you said, even the vets in the area probably don't have an idea of what to do. We have just a couple in our area that work with the rehabbers directly, but most of the veterinarians in our area would just be treating, domestic cats, dogs, maybe even some smaller animals, like your mice and rodents and all those cool little guys. But that's a good question too for people that do have pets and do go to the vet to take their animals in. Ask your vet when you're there, because maybe it'll help to have them think about it and get prepared in case it's something they come across. And they probably wouldn't expect it and wouldn't be thinking that someone might contact them about a bat, but you never know. So that is something that hasn't come up before. So I'm glad you guys mentioned that. That's another resource to approach in your areas. Talk to your local vets and try to get everybody on the same page. And, if they don't know what to do, or they feel like, well, that it's not our issue, that's not what we treat, then maybe help them at least have that resource to point people in the right direction. If they don't feel comfortable, treating bats, then they can at least give the public, who should be contacted if people get in touch with them. So another thing to remind people, another outreach thing you can do to help bats is talk to everybody you encounter and make sure people are prepared and have the information for themselves or have the information to give to other people too.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of laws, legislation that govern what you can do, but it's just the initial step, like the bat in the room, like Busta was saying, what do you do?
Yeah.
Have that information, and then who do you contact? Like for us, it's going to be it's going to be the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the NSPCA.
Oh, okay.
So they need to know that. Yeah, that is the legal entity that is allowed to technically do that. But it's just to know what to do in these different situations,
Yeah, because it does vary so much by area. It's amazing. And like I said, even here in the US, from state to state, there are a couple states that still don't do bat rehab. Out of our 50 states, I think we're down to just 3 now that don't do bat rehab. But you never know where you live, what resources you're going to have available. So yeah, it's definitely good to find out ahead of time. Gosh, you guys have been great. You're my very first double interview. So not only did you guys have your first bat chat this past weekend, I had my first group interview. So this has been really exciting. It's been great talking to you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for thinking of us and including us.
And well, and it was actually thanks to you guys. I got an invite to your bat chat, even though, I'm in the US, I follow you guys. So I got an invite, and that was how I became aware that you were doing it. And I thought that is so cool. And it's such a great idea. I want to talk to people that are just getting started with that, so you can share your experience with other people. So everybody too, use Facebook. It's a great resource for connecting with bat folks. whether they be in your area or around the world. You know, there are so many people out there that are doing awesome things and can give you some cool ideas of what to do on your own. So we'll be looking forward to hearing more about what you guys are up to, and we'll post that
Awesome.
on the Good Bat Neighbor Community Facebook group. And like I said, I'll put a link to your group in the post too, so people can go check you out there. But geez, thanks
Cool.
again. Thank you
Thank
guys
you
so
for the
much.
time and opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks. And thank you all for joining us out there, Good Bat Neighbor Community, and we'll see you next month. Bye, guys.
Have a nice
Bye.
evening. Oh, Busta, you had to do that.